Yeah,
Let's
I'm about
go.
that life.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
Let's go. Saw, dude.
I did.
I saw, dude.
Saw.
You guys are still saying "suh." It's like "saw."
I saw, dude.
What's
Saw,
up,
dude.
everybody? Hello.
Saw, dude.
Saw,
I
dude.
saw, dude.
Welcome to Wacky Wonderful Wednesday of Spelljammer, where Mike is convinced that I'm still trying to kill Ryder in every game that we play. But before
It's
we
true.
get back to playing it, how are you guys? It's been a week, you know. Why is my
Hi.
camera not centered? I blame Papa Bear for this entirely.
I'm not centered either.
Oh, that kind of
all right.
rules.
Enjoy my crop.
Let's talk announcements and
I need it as a
such.
crop top.
Oh, you stretching out there, bud?
Yeah, I had to. So,
I want one.
it's a little warm in here.
Is it warm?
Yeah,
I
it's
want one.
almost like I got a trail behind a comet or something of murder.
Oh,
Comets are made of ice, so they actually wouldn't burn.
Ice
All
murder.
right, you're ruining the joke.
Listen, I wanted to be an astronaut as a kid. I need to flex somehow. Then I found out you have to be good at math and also be like a perfect human being to be an astronaut.
You have to be perfect?
In so many ways.
That makes
So it was
sense.
like, oh, ain't no way I'm meeting all this criteria.
All right. I think
Engineer, physically fit, good at math.
how can they ask so much of us, you know?
Yeah, what if I just want to go up there?
I just want to go to space.
Just let me
I
go
just
up.
want to play with the space things.
I want to be
Nope.
where the spacemen are.
Thank you, Darkwolf.
No.
A bunch.
Fun fact, my cousins actually now live in a city called DeWitt, so now I can go there.
Oh boy.
All right. I've accepted that my camera is apparently just going to be a butt. So let's talk about some announcements. We have the Monday night game. They're playing some Call of Cthulhu, some fun action. They did a give. I cannot talk. You guys.
That's
got
the
me-
Cthulhu.
That is the Cthulhu coming out. Guess what you guys are fighting tonight. But
Duh.
so they're playing that fun game over there. Nothing happening on Tuesdays right now. I think they're working on a special Western theme game that's going to be playing soon. I don't have
Fun.
any of the details there. I think it's called Deadlands, possibly? Maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me. But look for some Western content because Rob will also be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time. And he says that he wants to be a cowboy, baby.
Also like to be a cowboy baby.
A cowboy baby? Like a baby cowboy or...
I mean, cowboy, comma, baby,
Okay.
but also pretty good.
And then we have miniature painters on Thursday nights. Those guys are very talented. They make me sad about my painting, and I've actually stopped because I'm super jealous. Not really, but I am really jealous of their skills. And Saturdays, we have a Wild Beyond the Witchlight game going with Thousand Faces cosplay, 2 members of Terrible Trio Creations, and a couple other people that I don't know, but they get really into the voices and really into the story, and it's already way different than the way that I told it. So even if you watched me
Exciting.
run it, it's going to be a totally different story when you go watch Ethan run it over there. I don't have a name for the event yet, but I have enough information that I can start sharing it. The week of August 14th, Misty Mountain Gaming will be doing a week-long drive for Extra Life Charity for Kids. We're going to have multiple
awesome.
streams throughout the week because it's their tabletop appreciation celebration thing. And we are going to be doing a special stream on Wednesday, so you guys get the night off. Well, a couple people get the night off. we are going to be doing like a battle royale where they will be fighting against the odds, and because they will be taken from their timeline from the god of luck Hermod, and
Ooh.
that's all that I'm giving you guys for now. But we will be joined with a couple of players from another Twitch D&D community called Gut Punch RP. The two people that we're playing will be Bodani Italic is her handle on Instagram, and also Shield Maiden Cosplay, who is a cosplayer that I have actually taken pictures of Yasha.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, her Yasha is dope. It was definitely one of my dream
All Yashas. Chef's
chef's
kiss.
kiss. And she was such a trooper, like hiked through the woods and everything. So they're really good people. I'm excited to bring them into the Misty Mountain community. If you guys get the chance to, go check out some of their streams that they run. They do a very similar thing. They have multiple different games running throughout the week, so it's a good time. And I think they're actually getting ready to start a Pride Battle Royale, I believe, is what Bodani
Ooh.
said. She didn't give me any more details to announce, but I wanted to give a proper shout out to it. But
Okay.
August 16th, we will be streaming my Battle Royale thing. You as viewers can and participants in the game can contribute, because I have, a nice little list of donations that can be hit there to where you could heal the party. I have this handy dandy D100 that you can roll.
A good old boulder.
Has a lot of very chaotic things on it that both help and hurt the players and the
Yay!
monsters. So there's mass chaos, and it will be a very, very fun time. So you'll want to make sure you stay tuned for that. We're going to start advertising that very soon, and it will be a good time. So now that I am done talking, let's let you guys talk a little bit, and I can fix these cameras because they're triggering me. Mike, what's up? What do you got going on?
Oh boy. Actually, a lot of stuff in relation to what you just talked about. As I've said multiple times, and for the new people around, I have actually been volunteering for Extra Life for like 10 years now. Running the guild here in St. Louis. This is kind of like my first deep dive into tabletop stuff, so I'm super excited. A couple of fun little facts that might be interesting that Rob had left out. With Extra Life, they're a really cool charity because 100% of the donations raised go to the hospital that Misty Mountain will be supporting, and that's Children's of Alabama Hospital, if I recall from their page. So there is no creepy old men in a boardroom getting paid. It's all that money going to various things like paying for the gas in an ambulance, or different types of therapies that they have in hospitals, bringing in therapy dogs and things like that. Those are just a couple of the examples that Children's Miracle Network does. And then I was graciously invited by Sophie to come in and do an interview with her the Tuesday before that. So
Fun.
the Tavern Talk, I think,
That's
if I recall
awesome.
correctly, what it was called. So I'm super excited for that. Outside of that, just doing kind of my own Extra Life thing. Got a lot of stuff in St. Louis I'm working on with various tabletop gaming stores here. And I'm working. I'm not officially saying anything yet. But I am, because I've been kind of on hiatus for content creation, just because I needed a break. Anybody who does content creation knows sometimes you just need to unplug for a while. But I'm hoping maybe around September, I'll be back rip roaring and ready to go. And God only knows what kind of shenanigans will go down, especially if Rob's involved, because usually it's he and I playing together, whatever it is. So yeah, that's what I got going on.
Awesome. It's not your turn to talk. Be quiet.
Yes, it is.
Papa Bear, what you got?
All right, so Papa Bear, I play the sorcerer Grimfrost. So recently, the big thing for me is I got announced, so I'll be a guest at Fan Expo Chicago.
Awesome.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Congrats!
Nice.
Thank you.
Yay.
So now I can talk about that. So that's where I'll be in August. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's my big announcement for this week.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so excited. Are you going to
Thank
DragonCon?
you. No, not this year.
Oh,
Not this year.
all
Yeah,
right.
it's not in the cards.
I've yet to see you at any of the after parties, so
Yeah, it's hard to get to them sometimes. It's just so much going on.
That's
You
fair.
never know at that place. Never know.
Let's see. We got Portia. What do you got going on?
Me?
You.
What do I have going on? Traveling a lot with Misty Mountain Gaming in the next couple weeks. So, if all goes well, going from GalaxyCon Raleigh to Gen Con, which will be super duper fun.
Ooh.
I've always wanted to go to Gen Con, and it's even more fun when I get to be taken there on like company trips. So I'm very, very excited.
That is cool.
Yeah. In terms of other projects, I'm currently working. There's not like an NDA or anything, so I'm pretty sure I can say whatever I want. On a commercial for the author David Wong. So that's really
Oh.
exciting.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing some cool things.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Making a very zany costume once again. But I'm really excited for it.
Please tell me it's going to be a fancy mind flayer again. Because that still blows my mind.
Unfortunately, no. Even crazier. Not gonna lie. This is not. It's so hard to explain. I'll just reveal more as things go on. But it's just
Sounds
a
good.
very weird costume that went through many stages of like, oh, I think this is a little too wild, and the author being like, oh no, can you take that a bit farther? Being like, okay. So great. He's a zany guy if you know his books. So kind of par for the course, I suppose. But fun. So yay.
Awesome.
That's my stuff.
Larissa, what you got?
I am not doing anything exciting. I just got back from Caspire, Wyoming on Sunday. That was fun. And
Wyoming's
next week,
lost.
Wyoming was great. But next week, I will be at San Diego Comic-Con. It's my
Oh hell
that day
yeah.
that- yeah,
I'm not
it's,
doing anything cool. I'm just going to,
it's not. It's not that. It's a lot of people. It's a lot. There's no sleep, and I have gone every year for the last 10 years.
That's
and so this is my
amazing.
10th anniversary of cosplay is next week, which is
Oh,
crazy.
that's so
and
cool.
it also means I am old now, so
Nah. Not
We're
older
so
than the rest
old,
of us. All right. Well, I think I
That's
got
it.
the cameras as good as they're going to be. And
They look good to me.
it's bothering me because there's like a little bit in between the frame and the top of my camera that I can't get it to size right. And I'm
Well,
just
stop looking at yourself.
well, I'm so pretty,
he was gonna say I
Beauty in
can't
the
help
eyes of the
it.
beholder and whatnot.
Oh, well, Okay, so let's get into playing some D&D.
Sure.
Because if I recall correctly, we are on the moon of Ironhold, and some fun stuff went down next week. If
That's
somebody
last
wants
week.
to give us a recap. Last week on Spelljammer.
Well, from what I know,
Hey, you said you
We-
wanted to do it.
yeah. So, apparently, there was this crazy jellyfish creature that everybody hated and everybody hoped that she would die, but that's not the end. She nearly killed everybody. More specifically, Grimfrost, big time. Like, so
Yeah.
much blood. It was crazy. He should be dead. It was gnarly. but he's alive. Anyway, got past that, and now we're on the moon of Ironhold, which is where Ryder's uncle lives, named Ballin, and I love that for him. I'm pretty sure he's a Harlequin Globetrotter, but I can't confirm or deny that. There's a
He does some pretty
huge
cool
crafting,
stuff.
yeah, like festival going on for the god of crafting and smithing and all those other fun things. And Portia was really busy going shopping and making bombs and stuff. And definitely didn't nearly die because she's cool and awesome and great and has plot armor. So she could not be killed by the crazy jellyfish. Yeah. She tried to find a way to watch Friends on Ironhold, but they don't believe in cable there.
Oh, how
So
rude.
instead, she's come back now.
What would the equivalent of a show called Friends be on Ironhold?
Acquaintances.
You came up with that way too fast.
Thanks.
Could you imagine, like, dwarven David Schwimmer?
Oh no.
I feel like it'd just be him condensed. Like if you took the side of like a JPEG and instead of like scaling it, you just kind of pushed
somebody
it down.
Photoshop this for me. I need to see it.
Oh, easy done.
Like, I'm trying to like envision Chandler with a giant dwarf beard, just doing Chandler things. Pivot. He just throws an X.
The one where he's taking a bath and it has to be a manly bath, so she gets the Monica gets the boat for him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen like 2 episodes of Friends, so
it's
you all
so
could be
good.
saying anything and I'll believe that it happened.
binge-watched
Oh,
the
I've
whole
seen
All I
thing.
know is
like, yeah, I've totally
Cheese is
seen that
lobster
episode
Oh.
before.
and the blue lipstick. That's it. That's
Oh,
all I know.
it's such a
Also
good
that
show.
they're like all horrible to each other for the most part.
You have to watch it. It's great. It's great. Anyway, so you guys are sitting outside of Ballin's workshop having some brews and some chats, getting caught up, and eating some snacks, whatnot. And Ballin starts talking about how he is going to be entering into a blacksmithing competition this year in the what was it called? Hammer Feast? In the Hammer Feast. And what's on the table is the rank of being able to say you're a master blacksmith. So that is where we'll start.
Ooh, well, here's my time. You know that out of character, off to the side, Deadpool wall break. You guys remember that whole thing about the chain that nobody knows what I was going to do that wasn't deviant type things? Now we're bringing it in.
Oh yeah.
Now we're bringing it in. So I want to walk over to dear old Uncle Ballin, and I'll say, look, I want to help. I know you get to have an assistant on these, and I don't see you have one, and I have an amazing idea.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, you remember that story you used to tell when I was a kid about that Hadesy general. He had those blades on the chains that were like affixed to his arms somewhat. Well, I happen to have a whole lot of chain, and I want to do that, but with the hand axes.
I knew your mother dropped you on your head as a child too many times.
Tell me that wouldn't look sick.
I mean, it would look cool, but how would we make it work?
Well, I was thinking like some bracers that you could put onto your forearm that the chain was connected to, and then you connect the other end of the chain to the hand axes.
I mean that would, that is how things are connected. Usually one thing is tied to the other. So I'm sure we might be able to make something work. I don't know what the categories for this competition will be. They seem to change it up every year. But if they have a blade competition, we might be able to come up with something.
Well, either way, if it ends up being blades, we got a freaking awesome blade idea to go with. If it's not, well, I'm spent.
What are the rest of you doing as this conversation is going down? Are you taking in the sights and smells? You're just vibing out?
No, I'm listening because I love the way that Balin talks to Ryder. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. And so I'm just like, aw, family bonding. Talks to him the same way we all do.
So I walk over to Ryder and I put my hand on his shoulder and I say, I also want to join the blacksmith contest. I'm good with my hands and I can do this. I want to go up against some real dwarven talent. I'm in. Where do I sign up?
Do you have any blacksmithing credentials?
I mean, I don't know if that matters. I can do it. I just need an opportunity.
I mean, the dwarves that are coming in this competition are the best of the best.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. I can do this.
I mean, I'm sure if you align someone's pocket, they can, add you to the competition.
Whose pocket would that be?
Who's running it this year? I think is it Thorin this year? I think Thorin Stonehammer is running the competition this year. He's not in it, but he'd probably be the one to talk to.
Thorin Stonehammer.
Stonehammer, yep.
Okay. Ryder, do you know a Thorin?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Where would I find him?
With the blacksmithing competition's gonna be happening soon, so maybe down, maybe by the Great Hall area where they're having the competition. He's probably warming the forges now, if I had to guess.
All right, perfect. So I turn to Ryder, and we kind of turn our backs on who he's talking to, and then I kind of whisper, "So, what are my chances here in this contest?"
You ever held a clump of ice next to a fire?
No.
Okay, well, when you hold ice next to a fire, it melts real fast. You're the ice.
Unless, of course, you're using dry ice, in which case it can completely expunge the fire.
Smart people really kill the analogies.
I'm only saying. Besides, I
Well-
would be lying if I said I wasn't also interested.
See? We should go try to find this Thorin and line some pockets so we can all be in this competition.
I would just like to also point out, you all do realize we wouldn't be on the same team. We would all be going against each other.
Oh, of course not. I would
I like
prefer
my
it that
fun.
way.
I agreed to none of this, but my parents were very hands-on people, so why not?
Are you perhaps frightened by the concept of my participation?
Do you see who I teamed up with? I ain't worried about it. But on that subject, what's the prize situation on this thing?
I mean, the prize is, the title of master. Like,
So no money.
no money. You get to you get to have the title of a master blacksmith, and that's where your money comes from. Everyone's gonna seek you out, and typically, I don't know if they're gonna let all three of you into the competition just solely.
I'll sit out, it's fine.
And what would be necessary?
Usually, the dwarves have competed to be at that position, and they get an assistant because they only have typically 3 or 4 slots available.
So what you're saying is we just have to line the pockets pretty heavy.
We would need to find someone that we can assist.
I mean, me being a competitor, I'm telling you, no, don't help my competition. But the dwarf in me is also saying that
we have some stake in the competition.
Lovely. Mean, the dwarf in me is saying that I'm not really scared. You guys don't really stand a chance. So if you want to, align yourselves with the likes of, Philly, Dwalin, or Gloin, you're more than welcome to. But old Balin is going to win for sure.
You see Portia's disposition drop completely, and she is just staring him down.
Okay, real quick, group huddle. I just just kind of bringing everybody in to talk. Okay, couple of revelations here I need to point out. A, we're not equipped to go into that mine to go searching for Grimfrost's kit. So I feel like while I'm screwing around over here, we need to grab some equipment. Grimfrost is currently loaded. Secondly, I dropped my turtle. Secondly, also want to point out that when we're done with all this and we get the map from the person that we need to find, we're stuck. Because we're only renting a ship until we get the map back to Crux. So I think we also need to keep in mind that we need to get a little bit of scratch so we can buy our own ship.
So if one of us wins the competition, maybe then we can get enough notoriety to get a ship and get out of here.
I mean, I don't know.
But can't we just take what we make into the mines with us? I won't notice if a couple of weapons go missing. I mean, I don't know what we're making, but I assume it has to be something with metal that we can at least use that people with.
I mean,
correct.
I don't have a copyright on any of my artillery yet. I'm not old enough to get one. But,
I'm talking like equipment. Like ropes, maybe some torches.
Plenty of that. I mean, if someone doesn't have a talented assistant, no offense, could they perhaps be in need of a little extra help, perhaps financially gained? Because I could always be for hire. I don't need to be affiliated with any particular person. A little cash,
her voice
a little inspiration.
Does it do that?
Why not tell your friends if they would like to make things a little more interesting? My work can go to the highest bidder.
Yeah,
I just
she's got you
the owner
there.
of the game. Would you like to win? Or would anybody else like to win more than you?
How I just want to watch.
Only in Ohio.
How much are they willing to spend for my inspiration?
I mean, I want my uncle to win.
I'm just saying, this got real interesting real fast.
I have plenty of ideas, extra planar.
Do we want this to happen so bad?
What
But
if
I
we're
want-
to just get out that a little bit of coin is all it takes to get some inspiration from an outside source?
Yeah, but I want the axes on the chains so I could do the stuff.
I can make you those.
But I want my uncle to win. He gets Master Blacksmith.
Well, if everyone is playing fairly and don't decide to give me any money, then surely he has a good chance. I can't help if others want to win more than he does.
Can I have you guys all roll me a perception check?
Hold on. You gotta move my
I
case.
forgot my perception between my Tuesday character and my Wednesday is night and day. Portia doesn't know anything.
I got a 15.
Yeah, I got a 13.
Oh,
6! This many!
hold on. I had to move my quesadilla. I'm all over the place, man.
Not the dia.
I'm gonna have to do math. 26.
Okay.
Woo!
So, while
God damn!
while you guys are having this conversation and, mystified by the fact that, there's a blacksmith competition coming, you can be an assistant in one of them or try and join. Ryder and Portia, they're going deep at it back and forth. And they're distracted by it. Grimfrost and Aylin have noticed that Balin has actually just walked away and has presumably started making his way to the competition.
Hey, Ryder, if you want to be on your uncle's team, I think you might want to follow him.
Oh, son of a bearded. We'll talk about those later. I start running after Ballin.
So, after a short-ish walk, not short, we'll say, 15, 20 minutes, towards the where all the celebrations are taking place, you can feel the heat from the forge is really starting to go, and you see one guy, he's walking like back and forth to all the forges, making sure they're all, evenly set so no one has, an unfair advantage. Everyone's on the same playing field. Everyone has the same tools, same temperature on the forge, same materials are available. And he's kind of panicked, but not at the same time. He's just a very busy man.
Wow, this thing looks pretty serious. I don't know what we've got ourselves into here.
I do.
Dwarves take their blacksmithing as serious as they do fighting. So, spectators are going to get a hell of a show. Me, I'm probably going to hurt my thumb.
You will.
I don't know if you got a split personality thing going on right now, but you are scary.
Do you mean that?
Yes, your pitch in your voice was higher. Now it's lower. That's not cool.
I don't appreciate someone turning their nose up at my work.
I'm not turning the nose up at the work.
You
I
did it.
just
He
want
has
my
to- he
family
wants
to
see
win.
it.
You didn't do a single thing. I would just like to see your uncle's work for myself.
I pull out the clockwork great axe and go, here. Hold on, watch. Oh no, I can't do that. You're gonna make me roll for it if I do it.
Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
You're gonna make me roll for it if I do it, you jerk. I take both hands on it and I twist the handle, and spikes come out of the blade.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to roll on that.
I haven't put it back in yet.
I would love to see Karma take a beautiful swing at this right now.
It's not karma. I'm just trying to show my uncle's work is good.
Yeah, and Portia's trying to make an enemy. She is sporting right now.
I'm here for every minute of this.
Roll a
This is so great.
D100.
This is so great.
Aylin is like, I don't care who wins. I just want to see it go on for as long as possible.
Yep.
I love that for her.
This
That's
is the
me
most
with drama.
entertaining thing that has happened since
Okay.
Rowan has left.
So I got a. If you roll a 10 or lower, the mechanism breaks. Okay, so I got a 73,
Ooh.
so I'm good. So I twist the handle back, and it goes back in without issue. Ooh, man, I gotta actually like read that. So see, look, good work. This thing looks awesome. I bet you it cuts people in half really good.
Hold on, I just remembered something from our last session because I was like, oh, we should be like Binx is drunk asleep on someone's shoulder. Remember we were starting this session with a couple people.
Yeah.
Because I was also like,
Grimfrost is technically the only one blitzed at the moment
it's true.
because
Good for
Portia
him.
doesn't
Yeah.
drink and
And
Binx is passed out.
passed out.
yeah, it's like, because I was like, we should be like, oh, we just have like Binx is passed out on someone's shoulder.
Yep.
Because that's what she was saying. She's like, just pretend I'm drunk and passed out. We're like, okay.
Perfect.
So I was trying to like include her into it, and then I just like, that's the most I remembered in like 3 days.
I got wrapped up in the drama between these two. So
All right, look,
Anyway, carry
Portia,
on.
we know you're a badass when it comes to making the things. We've seen the rifle. We've seen the holes that happen when you shoot the rifle. No badness there. It's just this is a family thing, and it's really important to me for my uncle to win because that's that's the best ores, that's the best tools, that's all the best money. People are gonna come around everywhere to get their ships upgraded, new weapons, armor, all this crazy stuff. So if you want to compete, that's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you. May the best person win because it's literally going to be the two of you going at it because I'm just kind of going, and I helped with a hammer. So you do what you want to do. That's fine. No ill will. Just know it's super important to me for my uncle to win. And I might be a little bit sad. And that's going to cost you a lot of booze to get me happy again. But your best friend's also loaded, so it's double the a lot of booze.
for a second there, I thought he really was drunk.
Yeah. You just added to it, the camera falls. Actually, your best friend is like, he just falls.
He's loaded money-wise and with booze.
Correct.
He's having a great time on Ironhold.
Yeah. Living the dream.
Grimforst living his best life.
Correct.
While you guys are, still standing there, kind of bickering, you're down in the competition area, and Thorin, he gets up on stage and he poses himself looking real strong, not slightly panicking at all, and he announces to the entire crowd, he's like, "All right, everyone, the Hammer Feast Blacksmith competition is going to be taking place very soon. We have 4 amazing competitors this year. We have Ballin Murdoch, we have Philly Stonebeard, Dwalin Fireforge, and Gloin Rockhelm. And they are all competing for the title of Master Blacksmith. Rules are all the same. The forge, everyone has their own forge. They're all set to the same temperature. I've verified it myself. Everyone has the finest blacksmithing tools, and it's all the same. And everyone will be pulling from the same stack of resources, so there's no unfair advantage there either. Each competitor will get their own assistant that will be providing an item of 3 categories to create, and based on, different judging critiques, we will find out who the Master Blacksmith of the Hammer Feast, and we'll have the blessing of Moradin going forward. So bear with us just a little bit longer, and we'll start getting some assistance set up for our 4 competitors.
After all that is said, I'm just gonna hold my hand out to Portia and go, if you're going in, good luck. It's like a handshake.
I'm gonna walk over to Portia and kind of pull it to her side real quick. So Portia, we know what this means to Ryder and his uncle and his family. Are you sure you want to do this to him today? You sure about this?
No. I want him to win because we need those resources. So no, I won't compete. But not Bolin. If Ryder needs any help or inspiration, I am offering it to him alone. I would like it to mean something.
I agree. I had no idea this meant so much to him. And I think, as his friends, we should support him. I'm glad that you see it that way too.
But what if we enter as assistants and just throw the contest for them?
You want to throw the contest?
You see something kind of click in Portia's mind for a moment, like, oh
Look.
my god, you're right! Aylin.
Okay,
I feel like it's a foolproof idea. I'm just saying.
Question for Rob, does it look like everyone has already come with their assistants?
No. So what you're able to see is they're all up by their forge area, kind of, getting ready. Thorin hasn't asked for assistance yet. But from what you're able to see, one of them looks very... I just realized I gave the wrong name to one of them.
That's the fun part. We wouldn't know. We don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
One of their names is Grimson Ironsoul.
Ooh.
We're gonna replace Gloin Rockhelm with Grimson Ironsoul.
That's my favorite name.
Rewinding that back. So you see Grimson not that you know, well, he is introduced. So Grimson's up there. He appears to be trash talking a little bit with Balin. You can tell that they have a little bit of a rivalry going on. You see one guy that is kind of shady looking, not saying that he might cheat, but shady, he's still a expert level craftsman. He might just cut corners occasionally. And then you have the fourth one, who also is an expert blacksmith, but he doesn't appear to have any confidence in himself. No one's really cheering him on. He's just kind of there existing. And Thorin comes back up and he's like, all right, our competitors are ready. Do I have any volunteers for lovely assistance for these 4 craftsmen?
I'm just gonna hold that clockwork great axe into the air and go, I will assist Balin Murdoch.
All right.
And then walk over.
We have an assistant for Balin here.
Portia looks at Aylin, like, if I do this, will you do this?
Absolutely.
That kind of like look between gals when it's like,
Yep.
this is stupid,
Yep.
you want to do it together?
I don't know if we should trust Grimfrost drunk in a forge. I just want to throw this out there.
Hey, nobody said he
going.
has to be the one to do
Fine.
it. Portia
Hi,
will raise her
Balin's
hand.
here. Oh, go ahead, yeah.
Or
'Cause I don't
yeah,
remember any
she'll
of the
just like
names.
hold Aylin's hand and we'll both race together.
Yes, and who would you like to be the assistant to?
I don't remember the names.
Dealer's choice.
There
Yeah.
was Grimson Iron Soul. There was Dwalin Fireforge and Philly Stonebeard.
I'll take Iron Forge.
I'll take Stonebeard.
Fireforge.
Fire
Same
Forge.
All right, so
I think you just actually said that. Whatever.
and well, I mean, since you all came in a group, come on up. You can have the last blacksmith here.
Perfect.
All right.
Wait, we're getting my uncle's rival, the drunk guy.
No, Portia's with the rival.
Oh, got that confused.
Not that that was planned at all. She's just really smart.
So,
Yeah.
Aylin, you were with Dwalin Fireforge.
Yeah.
Grimfrost, you were with Philly Stonebeard, the not
Okay.
so sure about himself dwarf.
Okay.
Oh no, so we have the drunk guy and the nervous guy.
Yep. And you have the shady guy that is questionable.
I thought that Portia was with the shady guy.
I mean, it's not too late
Okay.
to switch.
I got it. I got
You
it
know.
now.
Um,
I got it now.
so Thorin comes up to you all and says, "Okay, for the competition, the volunteers don't really do any of the blacksmithing. You guys aren't the competitors. What you are is the critical piece of the competition. You are what they are making. There's 3 categories. There's going to be a blade category. You can request swords, daggers, axes, a weapon of sorts. There's an armor category. If there's a specific type of armor, don't be afraid to put descriptions in there, because that is based on how they will score. The more intricate, sturdy, beautiful, there's so many different ways to judge a piece by its build. And then the third category is artistic creativity. It can be anything. If you want it to be a statue, if you want it to be a door knocker, if you want a crown, if the world is your oyster in this sense. So get to thinking on those 3 things, because not only are they going to be crafting it, you guys will be taking those items. They will be yours to keep as a celebration of the Hammer Feast.
Finally have a weapon.
So Grimfrost is gonna turn to Philly and say, "You're in good hands. I've only had a few drinks and I've never done this before. We got this."
Oh,
That's
good.
most art competitions.
I'm so excited. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
Grimfrost.
All right, Grimfrost. Well, hopefully we can do this.
I got your back.
Well, I hope so. I don't know what category they're doing first. Do you?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know much of anything in this field, but we're gonna have a great time.
Okay. Man, I really wish I had another beer right now. I'm so nervous.
Ryder's just gonna pop out like something out of Animaniacs with just a giant mug of beer and slide it on the anvil. Go, here you go, and run back.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be delicious, and he just slams it back. Aylin, how are you preparing, or introducing yourself to your competitor.
I'm just going to go up to his name that I still don't remember. But I can remember something that happened last week. Can't remember something happened like 10 minutes ago.
Dwalin Fireforge.
Wallen? Okay. And I'm going to say I might not have a lot of skills, but I am very fluent in pizzazz. So maybe we can win them over with looks.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I love looks, you know. Sometimes looks can, you know, be a little bit better than, you know, durability when it comes to making a sale, you know. You get someone pretty and they're just like, "Ooh, pretty, shiny. I like that." I've made lots of gold this way. Don't worry. We got this.
Hey, sounds good to me. You sound like my type of person. I got through the academy by using Starlight Step to ring the bell and apparate back. So sounds like we're
Oh,
two of the
so
same.
he leans in and he's like, "Oh, so you like to cut corners too, huh?"
No, my athletics is just terrible. Again, I'm fluent in pizzazz. So what I lack for being strong or fast or durable, anything like that, I at least look good doing it.
All right, I got you. Do you have any ideas of what you might want so that I can start thinking on this?
So if you think about it, we could technically make a whole outfit. Not like a whole outfit, but like we could do a really cool crown. My dad, this is one of the only things I remember about him, is he had this amazing crown. But his was red and gold, and I'm not a big red girl, so I'm thinking gold for sure, but something that like it kind of stands up so the next time if I have to headbutt somebody, I can just kind of, you know, maybe impale them a little bit. But like with lots of stars, lots of blues, because traveling through space has been life changing, and I just want to present that.
You know what? I think we might be able to arrange something like that.
And then for armor, I'm thinking some sort of cloak that could maybe like take not magic damage if that even exists, but something that I could
I'm
like
sure
put on if I need
DM
to.
Rob can come up with something. You'll just have to
Okay.
remind me.
Like this, like it doesn't have to like completely block it out, but like maybe dampen it a little
Sure,
bit.
sure.
Because so then that way it's something like I can either wear or not wear depending on how I feel.
That's fair.
And then we could
Um,
also like other people could use it too. So.
I don't know if you're aware, but this is a blacksmithing competition, right? I don't know.
And I told you, I know nothing about forgery, but I know pizzazz, I know sparkle.
He holds up a hammer. He's like, "I'm sure I can sew a great cloak with this." And just like tosses it down.
That's me having to sew anything on a costume. Like, I can't hot glue this.
Portia,
then-
how? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Do we have weapon?
Yep.
Have we already done weapon?
Nope, we haven't done weapon yet.
Okay. And then I want to do a dagger, a smaller dagger, and I want it to be made out of like, not, oh shoot, what did I want? Like a see-through glass, but not glass, something stronger than glass. And I had a word for it when I was thinking through this when you said blade, and I was like, cool, I can finally have an actual weapon. Because I haven't had a weapon this whole time. And I feel like Aylin would carry something small and clear with like gold, and then if we could put like some gold flecks in it and maybe like a little bit of blue, so that way when you hold it to the night sky, you just kind of see it sparkle and shimmer, and it's like you're
So,
kind of carrying the galaxy in your pocket.
Let me get this straight. You had me at the crown. Beautiful. I can totally make that. Then you want me to sew a cloak with a hammer. And now you want
It
me
can work.
to put gold fleck inside of a metal to make it see-through but also pretty?
Some sort of glass, but yes.
Okay. You do realize I'm competing for a master title and I'd like to win, right?
You do realize I've been through a lot of trauma in my life and I just want to be pretty, right?
Everyone has trauma, but fine, okay. And he goes stomping off.
Yay!
Portia, how are you introducing yourself to your competitor? Mr. What was it? Grimson Iron Soul.
Oh wait, did I get switched to Iron Soul? I thought
Yeah, they got the names flip flopped.
that's fine then.
Iron
Okay,
Soul.
cool. I want to make sure that my notes are right. Okay, good.
You were with the rival, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I will simply walk up while putting on like my big rubber gloves, and I will extend a hand. Portia DeWitt.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Portia. You are in a great company. He reaches out and he takes your hand gently, like very like showmanshipy, and like actually reaches in, like kisses your hand, and like he's like, pleasure to meet you.
It is, isn't it?
D-
Can't say I've ever seen a competition where assistants are simply pulled from the audience. Is this commonplace?
Only during the Hammer Feast. That's the only way they can assure that it is fairly random as far as like no one's stacking the competition.
I suppose that does make sense. My question is, as an engineer, what would you like me to be doing in this competition, and do you have ideas of your own for your creation?
I'm sorry, did you say an engineer?
Correct.
Oh, and you can see the wheels turning in his head. He's like, this might be the year that I will actually beat Ballin. And man, have I been waiting for so long for those bragging rights. I consider myself a specialist when, it comes to artistic flair and showmanship. And being an engineer, I'm sure you have some idea. Would you care to, sell an idea or two to me? I assure you it'll be crafted of the finest material. I am competing for a master title. I would... He looks at you and he's like... He winks. He's like, I would not pay a lot of money for this. Would say...
Which category should we start?
Well, they haven't announced it yet. I'm waiting to see what old Thorin says, because if we don't do it in the order that he says, then unfortunately we don't qualify for a master because we can't follow directions. So usually it's a blade. They like to start out easy, if you ask me. But I assure you, I will craft you the finest. Will wow everybody here. There will be no doubt. I already feel that we're going to work well together.
I think it's going to go swimmingly. This is just as important to me as it is to you, I assure you.
Oh, good. I saw that. Are these your fellow companions?
They are, yes.
Hmm.
One could loosely say that is. We only met recently.
Okay.
In the crucible of competition, as it were. I'm not necessarily affiliated with anyone.
That's good to know. I know someone that wants to win just as much as I do, and I think we can go a long way together.
Splendid.
Ryder, how are you approaching Ballin?
Hey, Pops.
Yo, what's up, Unk? I'm walking over, and I having kind of grown up with him, I know immediately what my place is supposed to be. So I take kind of my vest off and I unbutton a couple of the top buttons on the shirt. I find an apron laying off to the side and I throw it on because, sparks, don't want to mess up the shirt. And I go, all right, so we got an idea for the blade. We need something for artistic. And what was the last one?
Armor.
Okay. Ornate pauldrons.
What are you thinking about ornate? And
I
also,
don't know,
would you
like
button your shirt up? It's not like you're working the forge, kid.
it
Or,
gets hot.
as your friends call you, Captain Cute Eyes.
All right, hey,
You're
look here,
welcome.
look. Oh, shut up. All right. Anyway, when I say ornate, I mean like you did with the hand axes when you made them. Like they have the intricate designs on the blade and all this other stuff. Like I want you to. I don't know. I kind of took that as your signature on everything.
You mean, maybe not ornate. I'm more, functional and reliability.
All right. We'll cut the ornate part. Pauldrons, shoulder armor. Uh, because coming in slashes. They're always slashing down, so I don't need so much my chest and my legs armored, but like shoulders up.
Okay. I think I can manage some pauldrons, and they won't take long at all. And I'm sure that Grimson's sweating in his boots right now because he knows that he can't compete against the durability of my equipment.
Look, I'm just saying, I haven't forgotten anything. If you need me to jump in on something to help out, I am more than happy to.
I mean, I can't tell you to help because I would get disqualified. Unless Thorin says that the assistants can actually help or take over, that is the only way.
All right, I will try and sit here and just look pretty, but
Well,
throwing it out there.
I don't know how well you'll do that. You can get your mismatched socks on, I see.
They bring me luck. And
No.
we're gonna need it apparently because the freaking weirdo down there has been giving you the stink eye, and I think Portia did the deep voice thing again. Anyway, so for the artistic part, I've been listening to Aylin talk about this whole crown thing. I don't want to do a crown, but it was more of like an ancestral thing. But they had like those iron headbands that they had in the old dwarven army, and really awesome designs and whatnot. But they were still functional because I remember somebody getting headbutted in the face with one of those things, and that dude's nose was practically next to his ear.
They might actually consider that armor, and we can't have two armor pieces.
Crap. Not an artistic guy. What? Wait. Where's Bane?
It's back at the shop still.
Damn it. Could have used the gem, made like a necklace or something. La 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 la. Bandolier.
Okay. Do you really want to wear a heavy bandolier? It's made of, ore and metal?
No, I meant like on the wrist. Like, I don't want to say the other word because you already make fun of me enough.
Aw, come on. Say it.
It's like a bracelet.
Oh.
Friendship bracelet.
Aw.
A bandolier slap bracelet. Take it or leave it.
my God.
Tell you what, I'm sure I can wow the crowd with 4 bracelets so you and your friends can all have one.
We need me, scary deep voice, drunk wizard, the elf, and the rat. We need 5.
5. Okay. We can make 5 happen. But if we lose this competition, I want you to know that it will be your fault.
Man, I don't know what you're even worried about. All right? You're awesome. I'm awesome.
A lot of money is on the line here. Okay.
Okay, how about you have some faith in your skills and you have some faith in your family?
I have plenty of faith in my skills. I just have to make what you want. You can tell like this family bickering is just going back and forth.
Look, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna do great, and we're gonna kick all their asses. And then when we're done, we're getting turkey legs and drinking till we can't stand anymore.
All right, now you're talking my language.
So I'm gonna go and it's like old hat. I'm gonna go stand or sit. There's like a little stool over by the forge, kind of like I would imagine there's a bellows nearby, and I'm just gonna stand over there by the bellows because that's where I would go and I would hang out with Uncle Ballin in the forge.
All right. About that time, Thorin comes out and he's like, "All right, dwarfs and dwarfettes, I hope you have your ale. We're in for a great blacksmithing evening. We have 4 great competitors, 4 lovely assistants, and I can assure you, this competition's gonna be hot." And you can tell he waits for that pause and for everyone to laugh. It's like, oh man, I really thought that was gonna get him. All right, first category competitors, we are looking at blades. Consult with your lovely assistants, and let's get this show on the road. And you hear a giant like gong or a bell off in this distance kind of go off.
I'm kind of taking like a piece of coal and I'm quickly like scribbling down what I'm looking at or what I'm envisioning, and I take the chain, I slap it on the table in my 2 hand axes and slap them onto the table and go, those, awesome.
That's called modifying gear, Rider. I have to craft this. So he kind of gets your blades and your chain off the table. He's like, "I know what you're talking about, though." And he turns around and he starts going like heating up the ore and the metal and starts working on the crafting the hand axes first.
I'll go back to my little stool, but when I do, I'll grab that clockwork great axe, and I have the handle kind of sitting against the seat, and I'm just gonna start tapping, and I don't know how else to say it, but kind of in the fashion of like a haka, doing like a dwarvish chant to try and boost them up, get everything fired up.
Okay. Grim.
So I go over. I take. I was not knowing what I'm doing. I just grab a long piece of steel. It takes like all my might to drag it over to Philly's the name, right?
Yes.
Philly?
Yep.
Okay, so drag it over to Philly, just slam it down. It's like, okay, do what you do. You need to make this a blade.
Well, what you want? No, you're supposed to. You need to tell me what kind of blade do you want? Do you, like? Oh my goodness, I can't do this. And he kind of goes into a little bit of a panic.
So I'm looking at him panic, and then I'm like, oh, I need to tell you what needs to happen here. And he starts to scratch his head and rubbing at his beard and kind of looking around. Hey, Ryder, you got another beer?
Again, in true like Looney Tunes fashion, Bugs Bunny out of nowhere, just there you go.
All right, Philly, here, take this, calm down, and let's do a like a broadsword, like a big chunk of metal broadsword.
I think I remember how to do that. Let me work on warming this up and see what we can do. Oh dear, oh dear. And he starts working on warming up the giant steel that you had brought over. Aylin.
So Aylin is going to turn to her guy, and she has like a little pouch. And out of her pouch, she pulls like a crystal looking material, and she's going to turn to her guy and be like, before my parents left, my mom gave me this. Is there any way we can melt it down into a dagger?
Oh, that's quite beautiful.
Maybe put some gold specks in there?
And you know, we can try and make it work. Don't let Thorin see that you brought that in, because we're supposed to use all the same materials. Otherwise, we can be disqualified. But you know, between us, we got this, okay?
Can we make like a decoy knife just in case?
Let me. Yeah, I can make a decoy.
Okay.
And he starts. He goes to the forge, and you know he's kind of hovering over it to hide it until it gets like melted to the point that it looks close to the same as everyone else. He's like, and he looks back. He's like, and gives you a thumbs up.
I really did pick the right guy. Gosh.
Portia.
All right, so how much time do we have?
I mean, usually they don't really put a time on it, but everyone's usually done within, a few hours.
How talented are you at blowing glass?
Oh, I am an expert at blowing.
Splendid. I have an idea. And I'm gonna lay out a sheet of butcher paper, and I will start sketching out what looks to be a glass vial, but in the shape of a sword hilt, like a saber. And as I start writing things out, I'll explain. The idea is to take some sort of non-Newtonian fluid and enchant it so that when it's swung, it maintains a solid state so that it can be used as a blade. Otherwise, it will stay in a liquid form, and then one can use it as a grease spell.
My God, you're a genius.
I try. I'd like to name it the Inkwell.
I like it. Let's get this warmed up and it's gonna be flashy. It's gonna be amazing, and it has a cool name.
Why, thank you.
And he goes
Hopefully it will look sleek.
He goes over, starts warming the material, and you can see him take a deep breath in, and he goes to blow the glass, and he's like, he's very hard struggling to
Oh
blow
boy.
the glass.
Oh my gosh.
Just kind of watching, like, okay. And I will take the nearest, like, I think like either a pint of like crude oil or grease that might be somewhere within the materials, and I'm going to try to enchant it to become non-Newtonian.
Okay. What kind of roll would that be? To try and enchant it?
Probably. Well, I can use tools. I have
Okay.
alchemist supplies.
Okay.
I don't know how exactly that
I don't
is
know
rolled.
either.
How do you roll for tools?
You know what? Let's just say give me a straight roll on a d20, and we'll say anything below a 12 fails.
Okay. Ooh, that is a high ask for me. But I'm up for the challenge. Come on, BB. Ah! That is a 13! Thank God!
All right. So yeah, you're able
Yay!
to.
I'll use
to
my
work on that.
alchemist's supplies then.
Okay.
Because I feel like that works the most.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So as the competition has been going, your competitors are, working probably halfway through the project, and I'll just kind of give you guys a chance to check in. Your projects are starting to kind of come together. You're starting to see it. Let's just see how our people are doing. Ballin, not stressed at all. He's crafting away. He's got one of the axes completely done. He's halfway done with another one, and he's actually started melting more metal to start making chain as well. Grimson, he started to get a rhythm going with his breathing and blowing the glass. He started to make this, to your description as much as he could, the beautiful, sword. And has started taking your input or asking. He's like, okay, now that we have the base created, how do we? I'm not an alchemist. How do we make that part work?
Allow me.
I was like,
So has he already made the base of like the bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. So suppose what I'll attempt to do is once the fluid kind of acts the way I would like it to, like you hit it and it goes like hard, I'm gonna feed it into the bottle and attempt to enchant it so that when you uncork it and it swings, it can stay in a saber-like shape.
Okay.
But if you go a certain amount of time without hitting something like a rage, it'll revert back to liquid.
Okay.
So I think the enchantment is to try to keep it in that shape, like confined to the sword part of it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's see. What was Aylin's guy's name? Dwalin. Dwalin he's sweating a little bit. He has made the dagger. With it being a smaller item, the dagger is made. He's trying to get the blade to be see-through as you requested. He's struggling a little bit, and from what you're able to see, it looks a little murky, but it's still like it hasn't cooled yet. The finished product isn't there, but you can see he is making good progress on it.
Yay!
Philly is having a mental breakdown.
Oh, no.
I kid you not. I
Epic.
just rolled a natural one.
Buddy.
So
Muted, Papa Bear.
Philly's over there just like crying. Like I knew that I was
Oh.
never cut out to be this. Like I can't do this. I'm so sorry, Grimfrost. I don't think I can do this. You're muted.
I knew that. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. I can't do this. It's the steel's not melding right. The temperature's not right. I'm not a good blacksmith.
So Grimfrost grabs him by the shoulders, shakes him a little bit, gets close to him. Is like, listen, you got here because you are a good blacksmith, and you are gonna do this, and I'm gonna help you. We will make a basic sword. So help me. Get it together. And I released his shoulders, and I
Can I have you roll me a intimidation check? or just an intimidation roll, rather, not a check.
I got a 15.
So, with you being as large as you are, and you're shaking him, like already in his mental state, he is freaking out. He is not in a good state, and like the tears keep like really start coming out, and he actually walks off the stage, and he's like, I can't do this. I give up.
Really? Where are you going?
Grimfrost, I cannot do this. I'm going to drink. I gotta go.
So Grimfrost steps in front of him, blocking his path. He's like, look, Philly, I don't know what I'm doing either, but I'm here just like you. We're in front of all these people. You cannot leave. If you think you're a bad blacksmith now, no one's ever going to take you seriously if you walk from this competition. Your career will be over. We have to finish.
And you can tell he's kind of talking to himself, and he's like, I told Shadow I shouldn't be here. Like, there's no reason for me to be in this competition. I can't do. I gotta go. I just, and he kind of steps around you and insists on walking away.
So I'm gonna, while he's turned, I grab his shoulder again, and I turn him around, and I say, Shadow. What do you mean, Shadow?
Oh, you didn't hear that. You heard something else. That you didn't hear me say that.
Whoa. Shadow who? Shadow what?
There was a shadow from the forge. That was like, I couldn't see I just can't do this.
So Grimfrost's face just gets completely blank, and you can see he starts to visibly gets upset. He's starting to frown. He gets real close to Philly. He says, "What shadow are you talking about?"
I've said too much, Grimfrost. I really am sorry. Honestly, this might be the last drink that I ever have. So, if you want to take over and create your sword, I mean, maybe you can get the title of blacksmith, but I cannot.
Where are you gonna go?
There's a bar down the road that's where I'm going, and we'll see from there.
So Grimfrost lets him leave, so we forfeit, and I'm gonna follow him to the bar. Once he gets a good distance, I'm just gonna follow him to the bar so I can follow up with the shadow.
Okay. And Thorin comes up and he's like, well, it looks like we're down to 3 competitors. It looks like old Philly couldn't hit the nail on the head. And he looks around for laughs again, getting nothing.
I'm gonna call from my desk. You mean he couldn't take the heat?
Hey, that's a good one.
So at this point, the competitors are finishing their blade object that they're creating. Can I have each of you roll me just a straight D20?
Oh, dear Lord.
Ooh.
18, baby.
17.
Nat
again.
1.
Nat 1.
Something happens. I don't know what.
Okay. So, Ryder, your blade has come out exactly how you want it. The chains are attached describe what we are seeing.
So what it is it's two separate axes, and they have chains on the ends of the handles, and those chains go down to some bracers. And I go up and I slip each one on, and I kind of go out to the front, and I kind of bounce the axes in my hand, just grinning ear to ear, and I let the heads of the axes fall, and I grab a hold of the chains as they're once like right before they hit the ground, and I start to spin the chains a little bit, and once they get full swing, I go and I take a small kind of held back swipe because I'm not trying to hit anybody around me, and I slam them into the post of where we were competing. Give the chains a little tug, and they fall back down to the ground. I pull the chains up real quick, and I go, "This is amazing!"
The crowd is going just absolutely ballistic right now. At first there were screams whenever you started swinging them around, but then they're like oohing and awing, basically like, wow, that is incredible. And you know, everyone's cheering for Ballin right now.
Oh, you just wait till I attune to these bad boys.
Aylin,
Okay.
your weapon came out how you were wanting it to look.
Yay!
Describe what we are seeing with your weapon.
So are we like in an outdoor arena?
You're inside the mountain, inside the city, basically.
Oh, okay.
But it is a big open, space.
And is it dark outside right now?
I mean, you got the glow of fires. I mean, you're in a mountain.
So like, is it nighttime?
Sure.
My question. Okay. So Aylin is going to look at her dagger, and then she's going to cast Mage Hand. Mage Hand, excuse me, that's really hard to say. And then she's going to like float it up so it's in the Mage Hand, and it's like reflecting the little gold flecks off of the moonlight, and just being really ethereal and very. It might be small, but it's mighty.
Very nice. So you said the blade is see-through. What's the hilt kind of look like?
The hilt will be probably like a really nice metal something to hold, so like really good stability. I don't know. You can tell how much I know about weapons, but like it was some gold on it. I'm just gonna put gold on everything.
Okay, that's fair.
I was excited about the blade part. Don't ask me what. You can't see it. Her hand blocks it.
Okay, that's fair.
The blade is the only part that matters because that was the only part I thought through. So,
Portia, yours
Yes.
didn't go well. Tell us what came out of your creation.
I mean, I don't know what would a nat 1 have done.
So you had you got the jar, and you were trying to get the enchantment, but none of that was taking. So essentially, you have a jar.
Then I'll say I'll still try to play it off. I will uncork the vial and still hold it like a sword, and I'll try to find something to demonstrate it on. I'll say that instead the fluid is fine, but it doesn't keep the shape of the sword and just kind of flies out. So it'll cut into, say, like a 2x4 or something, but then immediately turn back into liquid and fall. So, like, it works as a fluid, and it does what non-Newtonian fluids do, and, like, you could see a cut in the wood, but now it's outside the vial. So it just kind of melts. So, like, it works one time, and then it doesn't.
The crowd.
It's like if you took oobleck and threw it like outside, and then you're like, oh well, I can't get that back in the bag now. It's out there.
The crowd was, kind of amazed at first, like, oh wow, look at the power of that, and then like when it just kind of flopped to the ground, they started laughing a little bit, and Grimson's like, oh no, that was bad. I thought you were an engineer. I mean,
Obviously, it works once.
I mean,
Bombs
sure.
are single use and still get the job done.
I mean, that you're not wrong, but we're not making bombs.
I know I'm not
I'm
wrong.
supposed to be making something that I can show to the judges and wow them. And all right, so I think the armor category is coming up next. Do you have a decent idea or plan? I'm willing to pay money for this.
Then I would like to see the money first.
He kind of waves you over, like you're looking. He's like, "Come over here and look at the forge." And he takes you over there, and he pulls out a bag out from underneath his his pocket area, skirt, whatever. He's like, opens it up and gives it a good jingle, and he's like, "Here's 20,000 gold." But
The real in right there. Want to point that.
but
It's like, that's my tuition.
if your design fails, you will be paying for it.
I'm afraid, sir, that's not how this competition works.
I mean, I didn't say you'd be paying gold. I have to win. I need good ideas. So,
And I gave you one. It's not my fault that you're not a chemical engineer and I am.
you do realize this is a blacksmith competition, right? Not an
Yes.
engineering competition. I'm a blacksmith.
And are you not looking to push the boundaries of the creative capabilities of forging?
I mean, yes.
Are you not looking to be noticed?
I mean, I'm being noticed, all right. You kind of made a fool of me.
It's random.
I like the artistic flair. You're doing great there. But let's push the boundary and do better. If we win the next round, the gold is yours.
Fine.
And he gets quiet and he comes back to it and he's laughing. He's like, all right, we definitely have this next round. It's ours. Old Ballin's not going to stand a chance.
Indeed.
And he's like, you hear that, Ballin? You're going down.
Don't worry, you'll get it next time, Portia. That isn't a mistake. You just learned how not to do it. Thumbs up.
Thanks, Gemma.
You do have a point. That was kind of you.
See, Aylin, I can be not a butthead.
Yeah, because that's what Gemma used to tell you. Those aren't your own words.
Hey, what Portia doesn't
people
know.
who know everything really kill the vibe.
That's awesome.
Grimfrost, go ahead and give me a perception roll as you're trying to follow Philly.
$16.
16. So
Yep.
you're keeping your distance, but you're kind of towering over the dwarves, and you're able to easily see, and like as Philly walks, at this point probably 80 to 100 feet ahead of you, passes a building, and as he passes, you see what almost appears like a black mist or like a black cloak comes out, envelops Philly, and like disappears back into the alley.
So, so that kind of triggers me because I've seen that before.
Mhm.
So I rush. I try to swim through the crowd, try to rush to the alley to see what happened. So I'm like inadvertently kind of pushing people and excuse me, pardon me, that type of thing. I get to the alley and I approach it slowly and I hug the building and then I kind of peek my head across to see whatever I can see.
Are you trying to be stealth? I'm assuming be stealthful when you're kind of looking.
Yeah,
Okay.
trying to. Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll. I think this is the first time I've asked for a stealth roll.
Just a 14.
A 14. So you're fine. The noise of everything in there like kind of masks your footsteps, and you had cover from the building as you were running up. And as you peek around the corner, you far down the alley you see a black shadowy figure quickly booking it, almost like they're not walking but even levitating almost.
And they're like going, they're like moving fast away from you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I abandon the stealth because I'm trying to keep up, and I start running behind them as well. But I haven't said anything. I'm just trying to keep pace with them as they run.
Okay. Roll me another stealth.
13.
13. So as you're getting further away from the crowd, it's getting quieter as you get into the alley. You hear, some laughter here and there, but pretty much everybody is at the Smith competition. And as you're running, you kind of bump into a trash can here and there, or a barrel or something along you would expect in an alley. And about the time that a glass bottle falls off of one of the barrels, you see the figure in front of you kind of almost stop or slow down, and they turn and look back at you, and you see just like these yellow glowing eyes looks at you, and like almost like picture like a movie whenever like the villain turns and stares at the hero and like they make eye contact. The screen's frozen for too long, and then continues on. But instead of continuing on, the figure kind of turns back at you, and shakes its head, and they just kind of disappear into a shadow, like there's no figure in front of you anymore.
So once they turn, I like become enraged at the sight, and then I like sprint as fast as I can to where they are. Now they did disappear, but I do make it to where they disappeared at, and now just kind of looking around to see if there's any residual anything, see if they dropped anything, to see if I can pick up any pieces that they left behind before they disappeared. But I'm just like upset that I was close, but no cigar on that.
So as you're, go ahead and give me a inspection roll while you're looking in that area.
I got a 20.
A 20.
Dang.
All right, you definitely rolled that faster than I found what I needed to. Where did it go? Bear with me just a minute. How's that competition going while I'm looking this up?
Going.
Is there any more?
I just feel like there's much
Any
Any more
smack talking.
trash talk happening?
I got the description of the pauldrons and like um, almost like armor going down. Just chatting, being like, "Yo, what if we like throw some spikes on it? Like, what if we, make that look sick? Something that really hurt."
Then can we throw you at people like we do Binx?
I mean, why not? Sure, I'm tiny. I'm not under 10 pounds, so I don't think a mage hand can throw me. We'll figure it out.
So as you're inspecting the area, you do see like a sickly purple light that kind of glows on the ground, almost like they kind of like teleported from there. There's no evidence of it trailing off in other directions. The ground is solid below it, but it's almost like an ash. But the only best way to kind of describe it is just like if you were to pick it up and rub it in your fingers, it feels kind of rocky, but it does glow a sickly soft purple.
So I'm going to just take the rest of what I find and just put it in a pouch and take it with me.
Okay. So you pick it up. Yeah, you have just like a little bottle. You're able to kind of bottle some up and you get it in your pouch. No issues whatsoever. And then you're just kind of left there in this dark alley, just kind of without a trail to follow, really.
Is anybody around? Could I ask somebody if they've seen this type of purple rock before? Is anybody around me?
Not in the alley currently.
Okay. So then I would go to the nearest tavern where there's a crowd, or maybe back to the competition and ask around to know if anybody knows the origins of this substance I just picked up.
Okay.
So I would head back to the competition.
Okay. So yeah, you make it back to your competition, and I just realized it's 9:00 and we haven't taken our break yet. So
It's okay.
sorry,
It's
guys.
an interesting competition.
I know, right?
True.
I've been working hard on this. I was just coming up with ideas on the fly. So, guys, give us a break, or we're taking a break. You don't have to give it to us.
Give us
Bear
a
with
break.
us a moment.
We're not asking.
Yeah, we're not asking. We're taking a break.
I mean, it'd be nice though. If, y'all did.
We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Get up, stretch your legs, get a drink, stay hydrated, go to the restroom, do whatever you gotta do during our break time, and we will be back in un momento.
Cool beans.
the next shirt idea?
Dwarf up.
sucker.
Yes.
We can make that a thing.
If you make me the design, I can do it. What's up, everyone? We are back,
Oh,
and old Grimfrost is telling everybody that we need to dwarf up. So if you haven't dwarfed up today, then go ahead and go dwarf up.
Yo, get on our level. Like 4 foot tall, but
we're all over here, all dwarfed up, you know. Okay, so before we went to break, we had finished. There's some trash talk going. The first item of the competition had been created. It seemed like Ballin had won that round. Grimfrost had intimidated his competitor out of the competition because he was just a nervous Nelly and couldn't swing it, and ended up being abducted by a shadowy figure that he decided to chase down an alley by himself with no backup, and the shadowy figure then also disappeared. So we'll explore that later. So yeah, we're coming back, and the next round has been announced for armor for the next creation, and you have been dismissed back to your competitors to come up with your next item.
Cool.
So I kind of described mine earlier. It's just like pauldron and like arm guards, but I would like some spikes on them for a little added spiciness. I got that unarmed stuff going on with my fighter.
Okay. Aylin, what are you describing to your guy?
I think ultimately what I want to do, if it's possible, is to have him make a cloak of many things. Because that's at least
That's
Okay.
that's at least along the wheelhouse of what I was thinking of, and it's something that actually had a name that we can look up and see.
Sure. Okay.
If that's possible.
So yeah, we can try it. He, as you're describing it, he's looking at you. He's like, the blade went well. This is not gonna go well.
You know what? All we can do is try.
You know
And
what? Let's
really hope for the best.
that's all we can do, is we can really only hope. Portia, what are you describing to Grimsoul?
the idea. Oh, yeah. Either way, Grimforge, Grimfrost, Grimson. They're all friends.
Distant cousins.
Yeah. 3 times removed, just
Yeah.
like us.
Exactly.
They're all from Canada as
All
well.
from Canada.
All dwarfs are from Canada. This is real. They told me that.
They did.
The idea, she'll start on butcher paper again and be making a basic sketch. But the idea is a system of pipes with a freezing, like liquid coolant system, essentially, that is made to look like an external rib cage that's being pumped by like this steam, like blue heart. So that from the outside, it freezes almost like an armor of Agathis. But it also has some concussive force if you were to punch it.
Okay.
Also resistance to fire damage while wearing it. So it's almost like this
Nice.
rib cage that once turns on, it looks like when like you have hot liquid going through pipes, but the outside is cold, so it like freezes over, and then it turns white.
Okay.
So it's just a bunch of frost all over it.
That's cool.
Thank you.
He's like, this is the design I would pay for. Assuming that it works out and we can get a good a good run of it, would you be okay with me selling some in my shop?
Sure. Art isn't made in a vacuum, after all. Otherwise, I intend to sell it myself.
I mean, hopefully I can. It's a high order, but it's got just the right amount of flair that I think we can make it work.
It should.
Yeah, it should. And he winks at you. Grimfrost, as you're making your way back to the competition area, and you see the contestants, consulting their assistants, what are you doing?
So I scanned around the crowd to see if I see anybody suspicious, to see if there's anybody paying particularly, because everybody saw what happened. So seeing if anybody is actually looking at me, giving me like a weird stare, or if there's like a shadowy figure in the crowd. So I'm just kind of scanning around, and then I'm gonna be working my way through the crowd, asking people if they've seen this substance before, or if they know who has, or what have you.
Okay.
So like I want to be supportive of my friends, but like I'm very fixated with what just happened.
Okay. So as you are, there's a lot going on. The crowd really they're like, isn't this the? What are you doing down here? Why aren't you competing?
Philly got sick. I tried to help him. He had the runs. He had to run. He had the runs.
Oh, that spicy mord and turkey leg, it'll get you every time.
Weak.
There's nothing that says you can't compete in his place.
All right.
The forge is there.
Right. I'll finish.
Be like if you were in the Olympics and somebody couldn't make it, and so some random guy from the crowd was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it." I think you should let him.
So, they're like, I mean, the spot is still yours. I mean, you were the assistant, so you might as well.
Okay. I'm up to the plate. What are we making next?
I believe they said armor was next.
Armor, okay.
But it kind of looks like that hunk of metal that you had in there is still melting. So I guess technically you have a head start.
All right, so Grimfrost, he's got his hammer. He's not exactly sure as to what he's supposed to do, so he's like looking at the competitors to see when they're hammering, when they're cooling, what they're doing. So as they do it, he's just mimicking what they do in the steps to take to try to make something.
Okay. So as this event goes on, again, we're about halfway through. Everyone is, showing their designs. Let's okay, so Ballin does not look like he's doing well.
Bud.
As of right now. He rolled a natural 1, so
Those ones, man.
they're brutal tonight.
Just sneak it up.
Aylin, what was your guy's name? I don't remember.
I don't either.
Oh no.
It
was
where was it?
It had something to do with fire, right?
Yes, it did.
Was it Fire Soul?
Fire Forge? What? Oh wait, I found it. I
Yeah,
found it.
Fireforge. Okay.
Dwalin Fireforge.
There we
I have
go.
so many tabs
Dwalin.
open.
Oops.
So Dwalin he's cranking along. Everything seems good as far as you're able to tell. Portia, old Grimson Iron Soul, he looks a little panicked as to what's going on, but he is making progress. From what you're able to see, it is looking a little rough, maybe not what you were picturing. But he'll scratch his head, he'll hammer a few times, put more metal in, bring it out, and steam is rising, and he looks back at you and he's just like, I don't know. Grim, go ahead and give me a performance check. Grimfrost. Performance. Let's see how this is going. This is just a halfway check.
17.
17.
Jeez.
So as you're peeking over at the other competitors and like you're hammering it, like you're looking like, oh yeah, I got this. You're hammering away, put it in, pull it out, hammer some more, like, oh, I got to dip it in the water. Oh, okay, cool. We're cranking. So it's getting hot. Like the steam is really starting to like fill. Like everyone's getting sweaty. It's humid. But we're approaching the end of the. They're bringing out their finished pieces. Ryder, go ahead and roll me a d20 with a disadvantage.
This?
You're muted.
I gotta take the lower of the two.
Yes.
Ooh.
My lowest one was 15
Okay.
Woo!
All right.
because I rolled a 19 on the first one.
Yeah.
He on a roll.
So, as Balin is bringing you,
I need some of that.
These spiked pauldrons. He's got a little smirk on his face. You can tell he's kind of up to something a little ornery, and he's like, "All right, little one, here you go." He's like, "I made the spikes a little mismatched in height for you."
Just like your socks.
As long as I don't know, man, I'm a righty, so the right ones are longer than the left ones.
They're just all, just different. Like there's not a pattern to them. They're all just different heights and shapes.
He'll just take them and kind of put them on. He'll work his arms through the the sleeves and whatnot, and just kind of go stand up in front. It just kind of throw some punches, make sure he can still move, kind of roll his shoulders around and stuff. And then, of course, in true rider fashion, he's gonna hold his arms up and go, "Whoa!" like a Mr. Universe flex, just so he can really show off the spikes on the shoulders and the arms. Have you seen my beach ball?
Aylin, go ahead and roll me just a straight d20.
I can't even read that one. 13.
13. So what is Dwalin bringing out to you? What does it look like? Oh wait, no, sorry. Go ahead and roll at disadvantage. I forgot we're making a cloak.
Oh, oh, bless his heart.
It's still 13.
Still 13.
That was a 14.
Still pretty
Okay.
good.
Not bad. So
Well done.
he's bringing out this cloak. It's not pretty. It looks a little burnt on edges. And like almost like he hammered it too much. He's like
All distressing and it's in season.
he's like, I'm sorry, and he just kind of hands you this cloak.
Don't apologize. It has a lot of character.
Yeah, that will sell it as character. For sure. What does it look like as you're trying it on?
I feel like it would be kind of a solid blue, but the edge, it's not like a straight edge at the bottom. It's kind of like, and then really high, and then like maybe kind of dragging in the back on one side and back up. And then I like the idea that there's kind of like little singe holes all over it that are like tarnished kind of a brown color against the blue. And he didn't have time to make the hood, so it's hoodless, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because it's too busy putting out fires on it.
I like it. Portia, go ahead and roll me at disadvantage. Since
Disadvantage?
yeah, he was a little panicked at the halfway
Movie
check.
reference.
That's not my fault. That's on him.
It's true. It is true.
Not my fault he can't hold his own. Hold on. Ooh, damn, both of those are good. You said just a flat roll?
Yep, just a flat roll.
The lower one is 17.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
So, describe what is coming out to you in really good condition.
So like I said, it's like a collection of pipes fashioned to be like a rib cage, that has like this glass dome heart that's being like steam powered, but sort of like dry ice. It'll get like smoky and activate and get a bunch of like frost over it, like Armor of Agathis, but it looks like bones. And so I don't know how they would go about testing it, but if she gets hit by something, it gets like concussive and it'll shoot out like little icicle kind of things for a moment that just kind of like crumble and fall off.
He's like, this one was a pleasure to work on. It was challenging. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried that it wasn't gonna go good, but I think we definitely cranked it out in the end.
Of course it was going to go well. It was my design.
I do apologize for my reaction on the last round. I do believe you have redeemed yourself and are quite the engineer.
Well, now I simply know not to let you handle the alchemical side of things, so I will try not to rely on that too much.
And you know what? That's probably for the better. Tell you what, if you need, anything that, doesn't deal with chemicals, I can probably do it. But I've definitely learned something about myself today. But how do we test this out?
Only there was someone with a penchant for punching things without asking or without question.
Have someone hit me?
Are you sure?
Of course.
Okay. Grimson comes up and he's like, all right, so to demonstrate how wonderful my creation is, you all know that I have, a taste for, flair and wow, cutting edge technology. I think it's only fair, we gotta test it. Someone care to come punch or swing at my creation?
Portia kind of rolls her eyes for a moment at my creation, but she'll just kind of stand there, arms out. And then there's like a hiss from some of the pipes. Freezing.
Since I would like to keep my dated movie references going, I'm going to slide out of the hallway and come running up and just full tilt. No weapons, no nothing, just a fist. And punch right into the center of that chest plate.
All right. First, give me a unarmed attack.
I'm gonna take this damage just for the meme. Oh, I can't read that.
I love how often you're willing to like get hurt by Portia. This is just such a
This
common
makes
thing.
content. It's content. That's what I'm
Yeah.
here for. That is a 14.
A 14. Does that hit?
That does not hit me, so the armor works.
All
Holy
right.
crap!
And you take 5
be
points of
nice.
cold damage.
So describe like as the concussive force is shooting these icicles out. Describe how that affects Ryder.
How does it affect you?
Oh, I thought he was
I mean,
asking
like,
you.
what's it look like and like coming at Ryder?
It's almost like the same kind of I guess sort of the same physics as like the thing is before. Like if you hit it, it like tenses up. So it's like as soon as he hits it, it's like it freezes and goes concussive. And so it like hisses with a bunch of steam and it makes all of these ice shards just like grow out all of a sudden.
Kind of like
It's like
Black
you go to
Panther's
punch
suit.
and it sorta, yeah.
Okay.
But think of it like just like dry ice, cold damage. Like you hit a drum covered in. Have you seen people who will like hit drums that have been like covered with a thin layer of like frost, and then they hit it, and how it just kind of like shatters?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that if you try to hit it.
So, Ryder's just gonna he's gonna make that punch, but with the force, he's going freaking ass over tea kettle, rolling. He lands kind of on his back and he sits up. He's got a little frost on his beard, and he's like, "I'm gonna do that again when Bane's fixed." Oh, that was cool.
Portia's just kind of standing there like smiling ear to ear, just. Thank you for
I'm
the
not even
demonstration.
mad. That was awesome.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Grimfrost.
Just gonna
go ahead
grab a
and give me
mug and kind of brush the ice out of my beard into it.
roll me a straight D20 with advantage since your performance went so well.
It's so funny.
24.
Woo!
All
Grimfrost
right.
can fake anything till he makes it.
So, what did you make for your piece of armor? Describe.
All right, so it's a chest plate, and I first of all I hold it up to the crowd because I'm so proud of it because it's the first thing I've ever made. So I hold it up to the crowd just on display, and I attach it to myself. It's a shiny, shimmering chest plate, and it looks pretty pristine considering how I was just kind of winging this whole thing. And I put it on, I wear it, it fits right under my robe, and I kind of do some stretch moves, kind of bang it a few times. You can hear the metal plate to it. And I did imbue this metal plate with magic. Okay, so what it does is, let's see, what's some of my magic things? Okay, so what it does is it can become, it's imbued with Ray of Frost, so I can be cold, but it doesn't affect me, but just my enemies essentially.
Okay.
So it can kind of make me entirely like frosty because I have Ray of Frost. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. I was just thinking to myself, I'll have you guys send me the descriptions of the things that you made, and I'll make homebrew items so that you can add it to your D&D Beyond stuff as well. Okay. So Thorin comes out and he's like, "Well, we have quite the collection here. You know, we have, some spiked gauntlets. Everyone really appreciates a good set of armor. And the dwarves like, yeah, dwarves. fighting, protection, armor, digging holes. And then it's like, we have this cape, and everyone's just like really confused as to why, like, what was his name again? Dwalin.
This guy's name has like magic properties that make it
does.
forgettable somehow.
It's like the silence in Doctor Who.
Yes.
And everyone's like, Dwalin, why would you, why? And everyone's
Why not?
Everyone's just really confused. And then Thorin comes over and be like, we have, a first-time blacksmith out here. Look at this beautiful chest piece. And like everyone's like, ooh, ah. And he's like, but I have to say, old Grimson came out. He showed the flair. This is the most intricate, unique piece of armor I have ever seen. And I think you have your assistant to thank for that, because if that's what they told you to make, they're a force to be reckoned with, and maybe you should partner with them and open a store someday. But for this round, I think we're gonna have to say that Grimson wins this round of the of the competition with this beautiful rib cage armor. Like, all right, it's getting
Portia
late.
does a curtsy.
Yeah, it's getting late. Let's get on to the last piece of the competition. We have a tie going on right now, but you know what? You all are very creative. We'll say this round is worth 2 points. Whoever, like, you could be the master blacksmith after this round. So consult your assistants, figure out what they want, and best of luck.
I want to come out so that he can see me. I'm gonna tap my great axe real hard on the stone and go, question.
Yes, Ryder. What is it?
Can the assistants help on this one?
Can the assistants help? You know what? It is the Hammer Feast. You can help.
Yes. And I go running back because I'm ready to go. I grab a hammer and I'm just kind of looking around.
What are you asking Ballin to make for you for the artistic creativity?
So real quick, the idea of like an announcer at a public sporting event, like seeing someone raise their hand and addressing them by name is very funny.
So
for someone like at the Olympics and just being like, "Yes, Derek."
So
Yes,
a little
Mr.
bit of
Jade.
backstory. Ryder is
What?
actually from here. Like this
Oh,
is-
I know that.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, imagine you're at like the Super Bowl,
Right.
and someone in the crowd is just like, "Hey, I have a question," and the announcer's like, "Yes," as if they know the person somehow.
I
It's
didn't
just
know
so
if you knew he was from here, so I was like, all right,
No.
okay, I gotcha.
In real life context, that's very funny to me.
He was causing problems here before he was
He
causing
called
problems.
out by name.
Hey, I'm a little scamp. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna walk up to Uncle Ballin and go, I really like the idea of those 5 bracelets. And I have an idea for each one.
Yeah, we'll spit it out.
All right, so Aylin's, we need to put some sparkly. It's gotta be sparkly, very reflective. She's got that whole cosmos thing going on. Grimfrost, kind of like like an Arctic blue kind of thing. I don't know. I just get the feeling of that one. Portia, it's got to be 2 colors because she's got the high pitched voice and the very low voice. It scares the crap out of me. We'll get the colors later. And then the smaller one.
Just 2 colors. Doesn't name color.
You're okay.
We'll do it live.
It's a shrimp color.
And then the tinier one for the squirrel, orange, kind of like brick.
Okay. And are these bracelets, do they need to give power? Do they transform the wearer?
Brain hurt.
Sorry, that was me making a Power Rangers joke.
It's morphin' time. Da, 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 da. Aylin's, yes. I know that for a fact. Possibly some kind of something she can hurt with.
Like you want it to hurt her?
No, like she can hurt other people.
Oh.
Like it transforms into like a giant metal fist or something. She just pops someone in the face.
Okay. I'm sure we can come up with something for that.
Grimfrost, some kind of focus. He does the magic stuff. Maybe his doesn't need to transform in anything, but enhance magic in some fashion.
I've seen something very, very similar to that. It almost like it was like an arcane focus, but it acted almost like it shot several spells all at the same time. And
boom, like it.
Okay.
Portia's a launcher of some kind, like flips up a slingshot or something, because she's always talking about bombs. Give her some distance on those suckers.
Okay.
Binx, let hers turn into. I don't like that toothpick bow thing she's got. We need to get her something better. Have it like flip out into like a bow, a really tiny bow.
Okay. What if we have it transform, like almost like it would shoot a projectile, but at higher velocities?
I like it. Sounds good.
I think we can do that.
Mine, fire.
Fire. You know what happened the last time that I gave you fire?
But I'm really good with fire now.
Uh-huh. You're not allowed to use it at my house.
Well, no, it's like an outside toy. It's not a toy. It's a very specialized piece of equipment.
You said toy, my little rider.
Son of a biscuit. Let's just get to making things.
All right, let's get to work.
Come on it.
Aylin, what are you describing to?
It looks like this.
Ooh. Very
Like a little halo.
Yep.
It's got little
And it
stars
matches the
and-
cosplay that I'm making for Aylin.
Oh,
So
that's
this is
awesome.
what it looks
Aw.
like. But like I said when I was describing it earlier, one of the last things that Aylin remembers about her dad is he had a big headpiece too. And so this way she can have a little bit of her family with her.
Oh, awesome. He looks at it and he's like, this is very intricate, but I can tell you it's going to be unbelievably easier than making that cloak. Thank you for... we got this. We can do it.
Just for last. Gotta finish off with what's really good at.
Portia, what are you describing to Grimsoul?
So-
Grim's son.
True. Again, all of them. It's a polycule.
Yeah.
So the idea is what she's calling phase main. It is I'll just read it, a wide ornate copper collar that sits around the shoulders like a mantle. When ignited, it glows with a brilliant purple fire, akin to the fairy fire spell. Creatures within a 20-foot radius of the initial ignition are thus haloed with the effects of the flame. No dexterity saving throw required. However, while wearing the main and active, all attacks directed at the user are taken at advantage. Alternately, all affected creatures within the range also have attacks hit them at advantage. The main has enough energy to stay active for 1 minute, and the property can't be used again until the next dawn.
Okay.
So, fairy fire that affects the user and also everybody else for as long as it's active. But it's like a copper mantle piece.
Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, he's kind of like carefully hands you off a very hefty pouch of gold and says,
Jesus.
I'm a dwarf of my word. Here's your...
So do I just write down 20?
Write down 20,000 gold.
Holy!
That's enough to buy a ship.
I could pay my way into college back home with do my own scholarship.
Now, this sounds intricate, but it almost sounds like it could be more of a piece of armor. Trying to think if there's a way we can make it not seem armory.
It's artillery. Can't spell artillery without art.
True. You think you can sell that if we get questioned? We have to beat Ballin.
Of course I can.
Everything's on the line here.
Every piece of engineering could be sold as a piece of art. Just depends on how you're using it. Who says that this just has to be used for combative purposes?
You know?
It also will just look beautiful.
You were not wrong. I'm sure we can swing this. All right, let's go get to work. Would you like to assist me in the forge on this one?
Oh, of course. This is not being made unless I can touch it.
Oh, absolutely. Let's get it done. Grimfrost, what are you creating for yourself?
How you doing, bud?
So, because everybody's making very different things, I can't really peek around and copy. So I am going to attempt to do some glass, make a crystal ball.
Okay.
So I'm doing some glass blowing. Try make a crystal ball. What this ball is going to do is I'm going to be able to charge it with my powers, with some of my spells. So in a time of need, I can take this ball, it would act like a battery, and I could do a super spell.
Okay.
That's at least what I'm going to sell as what I'm trying to make.
Okay. Sounds good. So the crowd is, getting a little inebriated at the time. Everyone's, really excited because, everything's coming down to we're going to have a new master blacksmith soon. And, everyone gets to working. You got Ryder helping. You have Portia helping. Grimfrost is by himself, just working in the forge. Was Aylin helping with you, or were you just sitting to the side?
Just sitting to the side. I trust him so much more than I trust myself. And mine doesn't do magic. Mine's just a pretty crown.
Yep.
So he's fine. He
All
good.
right, so at the midway check, Ballin, you and Ryder and Ballin you're cranking through those bracelets. You're adding in those custom abilities for each of them. Not stressed. You have plenty of time cranking through them. Aylin, your crown is not quite crown shaped right now. It is what was his name, guys?
Dwalin.
Not Ballin, but Dwalin.
Dwalin.
He's kind of, concerned, but he's trying not to show it. And he's like, well, maybe if we, cut a corner here. And you kind of hear him talking to himself like, how do we cheat our way out of this one? Like, how do we make it better than, they were making some cool stuff. Like, can I pay Thorin off? Like, that master title would go a long way. All right, well, we'll see. Portia, you and Grimson are you guys are on the same level. You are like, he hands out his hand for a hammer, and he doesn't even have to ask for it. You hand it there. He hands you a tool. Like, you guys are like fluidly working together. And Grimfrost, go ahead and roll me a performance check. How's your glass blowing skills going?
Does he have asthma like the other guy?
We're getting ready to see.
This is a 9.
A 9? All right, so you're struggling a little bit, but not near as bad. It's taking you longer to get the shape that you're looking for in the glass ball, but it is slowly getting there. Now that we're halfway through this one, how are you guys all interacting, either with each other or your contestant?
I am just 100% focused. I'm trying to remember everything from my uncle, and all of a sudden, like, in the back of my mind, I start to remember stuff from, like, my mom when she had her shop and everything. And I'm chanting away in Dwarvish, the kind of the same thing that I was before, almost in Haka form, but just to try and keep me and my uncle on pace, on cue, on the same rhythm, and just crank these things out in the best way possible, because I want my friends to like them instead of just them coming out like clumps of metal.
All right. Aylin, how are you reacting at the midway point?
I'm just hoping for the best because I can kind of see what's happening, and I'm gonna kind of look and see how everybody else is doing. Not that she's worried or thinks she's going to win. I just want to be like, I wonder what everybody else is doing. So that's what I'm walking around and kind of just like, nice, great. I better know what's happening over in my area.
Portia, how are things going for you?
She will be intentionally circling Ryder and Ballin's desk like a vulture. Like, when you hand in a test early and you'd really take your time, like, leaving the classroom. Just like, oh, you're still working? Oh, okay, no, that's really hard to do. I get it. Oh, still? Oh, okay, great. Rudimentary, but okay. That kind of vibe.
You don't even know what I'm making you.
It looks like a bracelet.
Give me a minute.
She said it's a bracelet.
It's a bangle.
Jewelry is a perfectly fine thing to make for the category, I agree. Just, simple. But there's something to be said about doing the basics well.
As that happens, I'm working on one, but I hold up Binx's bracelet and just kind of give it a little wiggle, and it turns into the bow and arrow thing that we were working on. Or
yeah, we'll figure it out.
you got that one. The device in which will shoot things at high velocity that may or may not be a bow and arrow for Binx, and then I kind of wiggle it again, and it goes back into the small bracelet I just set it down and start hammering again.
Portia, because I do have one, is gonna kind of flick her wrist on her gauntlet and fire a small crossbow bolt just down right beside your feet. Just be like, "Oh, it's so wonderful that you figured it out."
You're gonna feel so bad. Out of character. Ryder's not saying that. He's too focused, but you're gonna feel so bad.
Portia's
You're like,
just
I made
grinning
you this
ear
nice
to
thing that you
ear.
were being so mean to me about.
Grimfrost, how are you feeling about your glass blowing skills?
So I'm on the struggle bus, but every chance I get, I'm like looking over, whispering to Portia, like, Portia, Portia, how to do this? As I hold up this disfigured glass piece I'm trying to work on, Portia, Portia, and she's like,
She'll go
Help
over
me.
and like try, because obviously she can't help him, but she'll just try to be like, "Well, if you just, well, you need to tilt the pipe this way while you're blowing, and then you need to take it out of the heat first. You can't keep it in the heat. That's how it pops. You lose the air inside. It expands."
So I just look at her like I have no idea what she's talking about.
Portia
And
catches
say-
on pretty fast to that, yeah, and she just kind of like,
Thank you. Anyway,
just make sure to keep the blower tilted down so molten glass doesn't touch your tongue. Please.
I just give her like a nervous thumbs up.
It's going great!
All right, so as we are finishing the round of the competition, go ahead and give me a straight D20 roll.
Oh boy. Ooh, man, my luck's holding. 17.
All right, so you and Ballin get 5 bracelets, and they're shiny, they're polished, and the mechanical being and special effects of them all seem to be working and testing out properly.
I'm just gonna pull the stool up and I'm just gonna sit and wait. I'm not gonna pay attention to any of them. I'm just gonna kind of look at the floor and wait till everybody finishes up.
Okay. Aylin, go ahead and roll me a straight D20 at disadvantage.
Okay. They were both 15.
All right. So as Dwalin, see, I remembered his name that time. As he turns around, you see this very shiny and ornate crown that comes out, and it's almost even a little more intricate and pretty than you originally pictured in your head.
Yay. That's all.
That's all?
That's all.
Whee!
Again, mine doesn't do anything cool. I just wanted a pretty headpiece, so I'm happy. We're good.
Portia, go ahead and roll me a d20. And actually, roll at an advantage.
Oh.
Because you guys were working very fluidly together.
So, even with advantage, highest was an 8.
All right.
But I would like to say, if there's a chance to, Portia would like to purposefully misfire the collar.
Okay. Like, what's your goal with the misfire? Like to throw the competition, or like just to show that it does more than just. being a mantle?
Basically, purposefully not ignite the fire, as if it just doesn't work.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, he's bringing it out to present it, and it's it just appears to be a mantle that's out there. How you described it was like it looks like that, but the fire doesn't appear to be firing. The fire's not firing.
Fire's not doing its thing.
How are you reacting as he brings that out?
Frustrated.
Okay.
But just kind of like watching and chewing my bottom lip. Like it should have worked, but why isn't it?
Okay. Grimfrost. Go ahead and roll me a d20 at disadvantage.
This is hard.
You got this, Grimfrost.
5.
A 5. All right.
Nice. Yay.
So, as you're bringing this shape, well, a glass shape, it's still hot, I would say. Like not fully cooled, warm to the touch. And you're presenting it, and Thorin looks at you and says, "You know, we've never just had someone take over their contestant spot, but what is this?"
Isn't it obvious? It's a. It's obvious what
Yeah,
it is.
It's obviously artistic.
Yes, you can't. It's art is a matter of the beholder's perspective.
You're not wrong. Let me look at this a little bit longer. He's like, he's stroking his beard, and he looks at the crowd. He's like, do you see it? No, that's not it. Maybe just compete next festival. Is that fair? Maybe
that would be the best for everyone.
Maybe a runner-up slot. We can bring you in. All right. Okay.
I was just glad to be.
Everyone, we have a tough decision to make. We have 2 specific builders that are in the running for this title, the coveted title of being a master blacksmith. You both know them. They've both been here in Cazamoon for forever. They're both well-known blacksmiths, and they're both huge rivals of each other. Let's hear it for Balin and Grimson. And like the crowd goes cheering and
Elf clap.
excited. And Thorn comes up and he's like, this was a creativity item, and while yes, the intricate lines and art on the mantle that Grimson made are pretty, there's not a whole lot of creativity in it. I'm honestly a little disappointed, but with him being the man for the artistic flair, I was really hoping for something big out of him. But on the other hand, Balin has made 5 bracelets, and they appear to be pretty ordinary. So, to me,
Ho 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 ho. Ordinary is not the word I would use there, Haas. I'm gonna need my friends to come here for a quick second. Everybody
What?
walks over. I pick up the kind of Arctic blue bangle and I hand it to Grimfrost and I go, the bolt thing, shoot it up.
And Grimfrost conjures up the bolt and shoots it straight up, just like Ryder says.
And it's a little bit more bolsterous than what you're used to. It's almost got like an extra punch to it, making just a slightly bigger bolt than what you normally would. I hand the kind of galaxy style one over to Aylin, and I like, put it on, shake your wrist. And just a giant, like, like those green Hulk fist toys kind of thing? It's one of those, but it's a giant metal fist on her hand that she can still hold up, but and use if we're ever in a scrape. I take the nice it's like a pink and black mixed in bangle, and I hand it to Portia, and I go, "Do you have one of those bomb thingies?"
Bomb thingies. You mean
Yeah,
a bomb?
sure. You got one?
Yes.
Okay. Put the bangle on, put the bomb on top of that, and aim at that hole.
Okay. I'll take some random small explosive that I have, and I'll aim and shoot.
And it just launches almost like a grenade launcher at the hole, creating a huge explosion. I can't show Binx's off because she's passed out. You'll get that demo later. But I take the nice one that was made for me, and I do kind of what Grimfrost does, but I just aim up and with a giant middle finger towards the guy's name who I can't remember right now, the big rival guy, with a giant middle finger, I just cast a firebolt straight up. And as it goes up, it's like a big fireball, but as it comes back down, it's a giant middle finger.
Well, that does put quite the artistic flair on it there, Ryder. But if you interrupt me again, you will not be allowed to compete.
My apologies. I'll get you a drink.
you know a way to a dwarf's heart.
I know.
But now comes the tough part, because if we got to pick who's going to be the master blacksmith here in Cazamoon, and he's pausing for those dramatic pauses, trying think like American Idol almost, the finale type of thing. And he's like,
my uncle and I are crossing arms. We got our fingers crossed. We're like that one country girl that made it from a podunk town to the last two on American Idol.
True.
So he kind of gives that last little wait there, and he's like, I think it's safe to say that Balin has earned this title and is now going to be our master blacksmith. And the crowd
Just an
Wee.
absolute roar out of me as I stand up on the counter. I'm just screaming, yes!
he's like, get off my table, boy.
Sorry, sir.
Awesome.
So everyone kind of over time starts dispersing from the the celebrations going on down there. People will make their way to taverns and start drinking, eating some of the feasts, and some of the older people start to disappear and go to sleep for the evening, because it is later at this point. And as you guys are kind of winding down your night, what are you doing?
Gonna make sure whatever we do, we scoop Binx up, and we don't just leave her by one of the fires. Trying to hold her. Well, and congratulations, Ryder. That's really exciting for you and your family.
Oh, this is gonna be so awesome. Oh man, not even just me. It's gonna be the entire Murdoch name back across the galaxy again, and it's not gonna be because of something stupid I did.
Yet.
Yeah, you're right. Give it time.
Congrats, Ryder. Good job out there. But you have to admit, and then Grimfrost holds up his glass monstrosity. And he points at it. He's like, "You got to admit, I had you nervous with this, didn't I?"
Buddy, I thought you were running home with it. It's just, it's like, is it a, is it a flamingo?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I had you going. You got to admit, I had you going.
I was shaking in my boots.
Portia will walk up and extend a hand to Ballin. Still wearing the mantle, by the way. She wanted to keep that.
Oh yeah, you guys get to keep everything that you had made.
She'll just hold out her hand. Well done. She'll just
She's
awkwardly
talking to my
stand there.
uncle, their guy who does uncle
Yes.
voice.
Yeah, she went up to Ballin and extended her hand
Okay.
and said that.
Well, thank you so much. Was Portia, was it?
Yes, Portia DeWitt.
You had some incredible design ideas.
Well, thank you.
Now, Grimson
Try.
may not have executed them the best, but I can tell you have great skill and knowledge, and I think you have the potential of being a great creator and creating some amazing things.
What's the catch? Why are you being kind?
There's no reason to not be kind. We might have been competing. We were never enemies. Like, yeah, Grimson has been my rival for as long as can be, but at the end of the day, it was all about creation and making some amazing, advancing technology, using the resources that were given, and bringing ideas to life. And some of those things that you brought to him, I'm glad that he got to create them, because he is the flashy creator. And while I don't think I would have been the right one to create them, I would like to potentially give him a try one day.
Sure. I'm sorry. I expected you to be far more angry. I liked when things were angry.
I told you he wasn't angry. He's just grumpy.
Bring it in here. And he outstretches his arms like he wants a hug. You can tell that the ale has
Yeah,
been
she'll hug him,
free-flowing.
but she looks like there is TV static in between her ears right now. She's like, no, I'm supposed to hate you. We're supposed to be enemies. Why are you being nice?
And so you guys, are laughing and eating some food and enjoying each other's company, celebrating Ballin's win. And as things are getting slow and the night is kind of wrapping up, you hear a voice kind of coming up, and it says, "Hey, Ryder." It's an older female voice. It's been a while. And that's where we'll start next week.
It's his mom. We.
Woo! All the things.
All the things. All right. So, number one thing,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure cut off.
we just need that little glass thing. When we have our own ship, it just needs its own little shelf
Yeah.
with the little plaque that says
Give it a blue ribbon.
the obvious thing will be on the
Participation award.
Yeah.
brass
Do
plate.
not touch.
It'll just be called "Isn't It Obvious?" Boom. By Grimforst.
Well, I hope you guys all had fun. I kind of just came up with that, all just on the whim. So I tried to plan a little bit of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed playing it. I hope it was fun storytelling.
It was fun.
Audience, I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Next week we should have Binx back as well. And, well, actually, Aylin, are you gone next week for San Diego?
Yep, I will be at Doug Loves Movies at this time next week.
Okay. How about let's plan on taking a break next week? Because I'm supposed to be getting a roommate next week as well.
Oh, nice.
So I got to figure all that out still. So
And I think that there was this very small chance that Binx might also be at San Diego as well.
Okay.
So it might be a good thing to
Yeah.
do just in
Yeah,
case.
that's probably a good idea.
we'll go ahead and plan on taking a break next week. I know we've been taking a lot of breaks, but it's fine.
Summer is hard.
Summer is hard. It's true. But things are getting spicy. Check out that T-shirt. That's
Come
pretty
on.
cool.
Oh, right there. Just one more time. Just one more time.
Just one more time.
Just one more time.
Perfect.
But guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. Tomorrow we got miniature painting, and I
Yeah.
believe Friday Rob was talking about starting Red Dead 2, and then Saturday we have Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So there's a lot of stuff going on, all kinds of content, and we appreciate you guys for showing up and participating and making this community what it is. So if we don't talk to you sooner, or in Discord, or fan art, we're giving you so much material for fan art. Get all of it, and post it in Discord, because I personally love seeing the images of the story come to life. So yeah, it'll be good to go. Guys,
Draw only the silliest moments,
Only the
please.
silliest
I don't want to
ones.
look badass. I want to look ridiculous.
Just
I
middle
wanna
finger
s-
fireball.
I want
yo.
to see Grimfrost
Yes.
walking with his glass. Obvious thing.
Glass. Isn't it obvious?
He's the grown adult man at the science fair.
Guys, have a great night. We love you, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.